Hi, I'm Rachel Maunder and I speak about achieving approachable leadership through storytelling. As your talented people progress along their career path to become leaders, without even realising it, they start to become someone to look up to. Someone who seems to have all the answers, someone who's got everything sorted. And in so doing, they can create a gap between themselves and the people they want to inspire and lead. And that's where I come in. I offer a fresh angle on strategic storytelling, which gives a simple technique for bridging that gap. And in so doing, it builds a culture of approachability, openness, and support. And when you have that culture, you get greater engagement from your people, increased well-being, decreased absenteeism, and increased profitability. What follows are a few clips from a speech I gave recently on a similar theme so that you can see my style on stage. Today, I'm going to remind ourselves of what the importance is of sharing stories at all, and then I want to unpack this thing about stories of failure and vulnerability. Why is it important to include some of those? What is failure? To explore the resistance around it, and to offer you an antidote to that. And it was almost as if in that moment, after all these years of searching for this story, I woke up to the fact that, of course, I have a story. I've just told it to you. It's not an exceptional story. It doesn't need to be an exceptional story. The number of people to date that I've already influenced and inspired to share their story, theirs might be more exceptional than mine, it might not be. And it's the same for you.
It was a really powerful presentation. It was a presentation that resonated really strongly with me. And what I really liked about it was the way Rachel, first of all, built her own personal story in, and that was all about not having a personal story, which I found wonderfully ironic, and it fitted perfectly with the talk. But then also how she broke down what we go through. It's a really powerful talk, it's really well presented, there's the right amount of humour in there as well, and most importantly, it got me thinking.
When we share our stories, there's an emotional connection. Now, your story might have been very different from mine. You might have recognised the excitement, that disappointment, that resetting, keeping on going, whatever it is, you might recognise the emotion. But it's also about the whole thing of being more relatable and more memorable. When you start to talk about the mistakes you've made, how you cried your heart out when something didn't go quite right, all of a sudden it changes everything.
I just urge you to book Rachel to speak because you'll be blown away by what she has to say.
So what I take from that is that it is really important to get that stuff out, get it out from under the duvet. Think about, I mean, obviously your stories need to be relevant to your content. It's not just a confession fest of all the things that have gone wrong in your life, but it's just sharing that sort of jiggly bits on your path to success. Because when you can own those failures, take them on board, get normal with them, get comfortable with them, and see that there's learning from the people around you, from them, it's at that point that you can really reframe them as part of the story of success. So let's look at what we've covered today. We've reminded ourselves of the importance of sharing stories in the first place, but I've also questioned for you and queried about why are you only sharing the good stuff? Why are you not sharing and opening up some of these stories about your vulnerability, your failure, and so on? Because it allows you to do all that stuff. It bridges that gap between you and the audience. And that's what speaking is all about, isn't it? Bridging that gap, relating to your audience.
Able to watch her masterfully craft stories, relay lessons, make them relevant and applicable is absolutely brilliant.
So that just gives you an idea of my style on stage, how I come across, how I engage with my audience. If you've liked what you've seen so far, let's have a conversation. What's coming up next is a slide giving you my contact details, so give me a call, send me an email, and let's take this one step further. I'm Rachel Maunder, speaking on approachable leadership through storytelling.